The path we choose in our status in life starts from one big thing: the kind of goals we set for ourselves. We all have a dream in life, a vision of who or what we'd like to be in the future. At a minimum, everyone has interests and values that determine what they want out of their lives. Hence, setting life-changing goals gives us a sense of meaning and purpose, points us in the direction we want to go, and gets us interested and engaged, all of which are good for our overall happiness. As humans, trying to set these goals can be daunting, but the good news is, they are achievable. Welcome to All-Round Growth. We believe that everyone deserves access to information that helps them educate themselves on the issues that pique their curiosity. Have you been racking your brain on how to set achievable goals? Are you confused on where to even begin? Or are the things you hope to achieve seem impossible? Keep watching and we'll tell you how to set clear life-changing goals for 2023. Here are ways to figure out how to get there. 1. Know what you want. Many people feel as if they are adrift in the world. They work hard, but they don't seem to get anywhere worthwhile. A key reason that they feel this way is that they haven't spent enough time thinking about what they want from life and haven't set for themselves formal goals. After all, would you set out on a major journey with no real idea of your destination? Probably not. Get a pen and some paper and start writing down things that are important to you in life. It's okay to be general at this stage, but try not to be vague. Think about your personality and your interests. This can help you define what is most important to you. The point of a brainstorm is to get down as many ideas as possible, and this list will be useful later on in the process. Write about things about yourself you'd like to improve. Do you want to find fulfillment? Are you hoping to develop your skills as a public speaker, as a writer, as a photographer? For example, if the first thing that pops into your head is happiness, that's fine. But try to define that term. What does happiness mean to you? What would you consider a happy life? Once you've conquered this first phase, the next is 2. Make your goals specific. After all this brainstorming, you should have some ideas about what you like to do with your life. In fact, you probably have several. Now is the time to make them as specific as possible. For example, you may at this point have the idea that you might want to become a scientist. That's a good start. But now, think about what type of scientist you'd like to be. Do you want to be a chemist, a physicist, an astronomer? Be as specific as you can. Imagine you've decided becoming a chemist might be the right path for you. Now ask yourself what type of work you'd like to do within that field. Do you want to work for a private company, developing new products? Do you want to teach chemistry at a university? This brings us to the next point. 3. Be intentional. One of the major challenges we face when creating life-changing goals is not knowing how to achieve the set goals. If you want your goals in 2023 to flourish, you must get super specific with how you work towards your goals. For example, instead of just saying I'm going to be more patient, I'm going to volunteer more, I'm going to save money, how about discovering how you can be more patient? Is it by listening to more motivational materials on patience? Is it by avoiding unnecessary pressure? How do you plan on being more patient? My point is, setting goals are truly admirable, but you should offer a guide on how to achieve those goals. Once you're intentional with how to implement a change, you're more likely to achieve your goals. 4. Rank your goals. At the point that you have a few or many possible life goals, it's time to get serious about making a plan for achievement. A first step in this is prioritizing your goals. Be careful not to just set goals that you think will make you happy once you achieve them, but goals that also honor your values and reflect who you truly are and what you truly care about. Deciding which goal or goals are most important can help you decide which ones to start working on first. You also may need to start cutting goals from the list at this point. Some goals may not be achievable together. For example, you probably can't become a doctor who is also a pilot and a famous actress. Any one of these goals can take a lifetime to achieve. All of them together may be impossible. Other goals might work well together. For example, if you want to be a beer brewer and own a restaurant, you might combine these to create a new goal. Open a brew pub. Part of this ranking process will be assessing your personal commitment to each goal. You are not likely to achieve long-term goals that you are only moderately committed to, especially if there are other goals on your list that are much more important. 5. Focus on manageable goals. The secret sauce of goal setting is breaking it down to tasks, strategies, and sub-goals. Without this, you're more likely to blow it off because it starts to seem too big a deal, too hard to do, too hard to fit into your life. People can write down 101 things they want to tackle in a year, but one should ask if these goals are manageable. Adding more items to your to-do lists can be a deterrent to self-improvement. Rather, try and focus on one manageable goal at a time. I'll tell you how you can do this. Break your New Year goals into mini goals. Make these sub-goals as measurable and tangible as possible. In other words, there should be a clear definition of each sub-goal that makes it easy to tell when you have achieved it. For example, if you're resolving to ditch junk foods, a first mini goal would be to buy more fruits and vegetables. Second, prepare and consume those fruits and veggies 3 days a week, and build up from there. Another example, if your goal is to open a restaurant, your sub-goals might include saving up a certain amount of money, finding a location, designing the interior, getting it furnished, obtaining insurance, getting various permits and licenses, hiring employees, and finally, having a grand opening. When working on long-term goals, it's easy to feel like you aren't getting anywhere. With a list of manageable and clear sub-goals, however, it is much more easier to see your own progress. This reduces the temptation to give up. 6. Create a timeline. Once you've got the steps to achieving your goal mapped out, set some deadlines and track your progress. One of the best ways to stay motivated is to keep track of your progress and check it regularly. Depending on your goal and personal preferences, you can use an app, a journal, or a calendar. Any of these will help remind you of sub-goals you've already achieved and the deadline you ought to beat. Think about how long each sub-goal should reasonably take and make a timeline for achieving them. Having deadlines will keep you motivated by adding a sense of urgency. It will also make you accountable for meeting goals at certain times, rather than letting them slip down your priority lists. For example, if you want to have $10,000 saved within 3 years, you can break that down to about $278 a month. This will help you remember to actually set aside the money each month, rather than spending it on other things. 7. Get rid of distractions. Whatever your goal is, there are probably some environments that are better off achieving it than others. Do whatever you can to make sure that you don't create obstacles and distractions for you. For instance, if you are entering a law program, you're going to need to study long hours and concentrate on your work. If you live with folks who party all the time and will encourage you to do the same, you might want to consider moving. Surrounding yourself with other goal-oriented people can also help keep you accountable and motivated. 8. Be prepared for hard times. Inevitably, there will come a day when you will miss your set goal. Be prepared for such days. Thinking in advance about obstacles you might encounter will help you develop ideas for how to deal with them if they come up. Everyone slips up, but those who see mistakes as an opportunity for growth as opposed to failure are better positioned to move forward. Embrace the challenges, the ups and downs, the temptations, and remember the key to goal achievement is persistence, not perfection. In fact, missing a few days of a new behavior or goal doesn't make you a failure. In these moments of fallibility, re-engage with your goal. Remind yourself time after time why you started in the first place. Why did you set these goals? Where do you want to be in a year from now? So when you have those kinds of interruptions, the idea is to reaffirm your commitment to the goal and reflect on what is the outcome you want, what is the self you want to be, and where you are now. Don't let setbacks derail your progress. Finally, get to work and be consistent. Pick a date to begin work on the first sub-goal on your list, then dive in. If you can't identify the first step towards that goal, you may need to do more research or break it down into smaller sub-goals. Whatever you do, don't procrastinate and don't plan forever. Walk that talk. Another important point is consistency. Once you get started, the key to achieving life goals is to work on them steadily and consistently. This is a step-by-step process that can take a long time. It is crucial, therefore, to keep making progress. Many people set goals and then jump in with great enthusiasm, devoting a lot of time and energy to the goal in the early stages. Enthusiasm is great, but try not to burn yourself out in the first few weeks or months. You also don't want to set standards that you won't be able to live up to in the long run. Remember that you're in this for the long haul. This isn't a race, it's a journey. A good way to ensure consistent progress is to create time into your daily routine for working on your goals. For example, if you're studying to become a doctor, set aside a specific portion of each day for homework from your classes. For example, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Set aside a specific part of the day for developing your own research, say 7:30 to 9 p.m. Try to always use these hours for these purposes, unless you absolutely must deviate from that schedule. But at 9 p.m., call it quits for the night and do something to relax. Keep in mind that putting in the hours and the sweat is how you will achieve your goal. You gotta believe you can do this. People say that they want to set clear goals for themselves, but they don't believe that they can actually accomplish it. If you know you are capable of making your desired change, then believe it wholeheartedly. Seriously, get specific with your goals. We mentioned this tactic earlier. It's worth emphasizing. Setting small, specific goals also keeps you encouraged along the way. Each time you meet one, you have reason to celebrate your progress. Thanks as usual for watching our videos. If you're yet to subscribe, please do. Tell us in the comment section your plans for 2023 and how you set out to achieve them. Let your 2023 goals be the one you finally follow through. Don't forget, set a plan, but be a bit flexible when life gets in the way. Compliments of the season. Cheers.